Being submerged under the water is freeing. I love that feeling of discovery, of the unknown. It kind of quenches that adventurous spirit that's inside of me. Our oceans cover, what, 70% of the globe? That's a big part of our identity as humans. The water is a big part of our life, and we have a duty, I think, to take care of it. It's where I feel like I'm meant to be. I don't know where it started. I had this idea that I drove past the Northwest Arm a lot, and I was like, what is in there? I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't have any of the proper gear. I found a wetsuit. It was like a thin wetsuit. I still have it to this day, but it wasn't the right one for the time of year. It was too cold. I wore it anyway, didn't have any boots or gloves or a hood, and I just went in with my fins and a mask. And I just explored, and I found just 2 bottles. I think it was a Pepsi and a Coca-Cola bottle. It was like, oh my goodness, I remember how, it was like it triggered how much I loved doing this as a kid. And then it kind of just took on a life of its own from there.
We'll talk through that. That'd be a cool adventure.
I always remember my dad would go snorkeling, and I remember one year he let me try out his snorkel gear, and I still remember the feeling of being able to see like an entirely different world underneath and just being mesmerized by it. He kind of just has this relentless energy and like kind of passion for life, and it kind of bleeds into everything that he likes to do, and that as a kid you just absorb what your dad is kind of into. Snorkeling was a thing that really bound us together. Yeah, and it's really cool that we're doing this now.
But look at this here. So Cook Island, you take a ferry over in the morning, spend a couple of hours there. I know that between those 2 islands,
yep,
I guarantee you no one's ever been there.
Wonder how deep it is there. But when I was down doing a project for Tourism Nova Scotia earlier this winter, I stayed in all these towns. Liverpool I stayed in, I thought, man, that's cool. It's just so old. There is an old fishing village there.
Yep. Bridgewater would be, again,
yep,
you know,
yep,
hundreds of years old, right?
Yep.
We have to flip a coin here a little bit, right? So
I think it's between Tancook and Liverpool.
I'm thinking Liverpool.
I'm thinking Liverpool too.
Yeah?
It's a cool name.
All right, let's plan the day. So if it's Liverpool,
the tide schedule on August 7th, low tide. Low tide is 10 a.m. So that's perfect.
That's perfect. So we get down there, leave at 8:30.
That sounds fun.
You gonna pack the lunches?
That actually does sound like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for my birthday. I realized that if I was making videos about where I was swimming, that if I wasn't taking out everything, and I'm talking about like the good, the bad, the ugly, and the really ugly, then what was I doing? Maybe it'll inspire others to do the same thing. Hey, happy Sunday. Got my dad, and today we're heading to Liverpool to explore the harbor. Dad and I have never been. We're excited to go. When I take the time at the end of a dive to group it all together and take a picture, it really gives people the idea.
Like we're driving down the highway. When I was a kid, people would take this cup and they would throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Right? It would be gone. Right. And then you started seeing signs, litter, $100 fine, and kids growing up in school that in television ads that you're not to litter.
Yep.
You don't see somebody doing that, and when you do, it's a shock to your system. Right? You look at it, but years ago you couldn't care less.
It's like you're polluting.
So do you feel that your contributions to environmental cleanup and a sustainable environment, are you more encouraged or are you more discouraged because of what you're seeing?
think.
That's not an easy one, is it? So you're seeing it all firsthand, and maybe that's the start. You're helping.
Oh, it starts in the head, in your mind.
Well, yeah, you caused me to rethink about that. I never thought about it before.
I would love to see my name in a museum alongside a piece of history that I found. So one of the things I found was this clay pipe. This is the very first one I ever found. It was hand carved. I had no idea what I was looking at. I figured it was a pipe of some type, right? But I was like, okay, who made this? And I posted it online to try to get information, mostly on Reddit, or I sent it to the picture to some diver friends that I knew, and I was like, what is this? And someone wrote back and said, this is an 18th or late 18th century or early 19th century clay pipe. And you can tell by the shape of the bowl size. And I thought, oh, wow, that's really cool. And so it made me start to think about the last person who would have smoked this, what sailor or whatever, pirate maybe, and they would have smoked it, broke it off, and discarded it in the ocean. Here I find it, 130, 140, 150 years later. I'm holding it in my kitchen, right? Why don't we go over there?
That'd be a good entry point.
We'll just take a quick look.
Yeah.
Sure.
We could swim over to that island.
Why don't we quickly just park over there? I'll run over and just take a quick look. Because then there was also like going further into town that way.
Well, why don't we keep that in mind and let's go into town and see first. But that's one area I would probably go. Piers and things like that?
Yes, everything.
Okay.
Well, that's what we're interested in.
We do this in Halifax. We've been like diving.
And we picked Liverpool because of its age, and we just thought...
Well, it's very cool. Right here.
Yeah.
I'll show you some pictures.
I'm Sean, by the way.
And I'm Jonathan, his dad.
Yeah. Cindy. Yeah,
Hi,
so
Cindy.
welcome to,
Oh my gosh, this is
Cindy,
so kind of you.
That's very nice of you.
No, it's so cool.
Okay.
That's why I find like...
Well, if we find gold, it gets yours, right?
This is perfect, Sean. Yeah, no, that's exactly what we want.
So she sounds like I could snorkel it.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
That's perfect.
So, this here, right?
So we're standing roughly on it now?
So you're seeing, like right now, if we stand like this, you can see that?
Oh, I see it now, yeah.
This is the old, that's the old tavern. The building that's out over here.
So they were boat builders here too, or at least repaired.
Massive. I mean massive. And
so at low tide, it all just pops.
This is what you see at low tide.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is going to be full of stuff.
Come here, I'll show you the salt
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Well, maybe, Dad, I could just get my gear and kind of go in.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to go on this side.
Yeah, where it's deeper.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have a goodie bag of stuff, so.
That, but my neighbor over here, she said.
So I'm at the remains of an old jetty, an old wharf. Dad's just getting his stuff on, and we met, like I said, just a lovely woman named Cindy who just knows so much about this area. The water's extremely calm and clear. I don't think I've been this excited to do something like a new location for a few months, ever since the Sackville River. So I'm going to, I got my stick with my GoPro today, and going to get the rest of my gear on and go see what's out there.
So they're at 40 minutes now, and just crossed this little inlet here, and came across a whole bunch of dump of bottles. Here's something here that looks like an old sauce bottle, and the cork is still in it, and oh, it actually is embossed. I didn't even see that.
Big thank you to Cindy and her mom for letting us
That's Gail. Hi.
stay here. And I'll just show you guys.
It's a beautiful, beautiful property. Thank you for letting us be on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is all the stuff we found.
Wow.
We've got beer bottles, whiskeys, a lot of screw tops. This was a handle, plastic handle to a door.
Okay.
Some type. This would be my top find of today. This is an embossed bottle. It says Crescent on
I'll
it.
have to do a research on that. Very cool.
I'm gonna
man.
take a picture.
Come on over, Cindy. Pick whatever you want.
You know, I have a fear of that. Is like, am I gonna start doing this for other people and not myself?
Yeah. That's probably the moment then you're going to decide what to do next.
To counter that, I actually went out on a couple snorkels in my own lake without my GoPro.
Yeah.
Without anyone seeing what I was doing, just to remind myself.
So how did you make the feel? Did you feel you should have your GoPro with you when you were there?
I did, but I still picked up bottles like I did. No one will ever see them, the ones I picked up.
Yeah.
But
Well, you've been always doing that since you were a kid, so this is just new, the whole video thing.
Right. Yeah, the video, and then getting the reaction to it is something I didn't really expect that to happen. I was just making videos. I didn't. Who would be interested in a guy picking up garbage underwater?
Evidently, a few people.
Let's try that one. Oh yeah, that fit in there. Well, this is, I should have brought some of my dark blue glass, but I mean, like that, all that beautiful blue glass comes from here.
And I've seen you on YouTube.
Have you? What? You sound like my son in the harbor.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me. So I'm on YouTube and TikTok. If you leave a comment, I'll go and respond to you, okay? And you see my point of view of all the stuff that I found.
Charlie, isn't that cool?
And then these are all like old bottles.
Diving gear?
All my diving gear. All this stuff keeps me warm so I don't freeze. Depending on the shapes, and like this one was in the ocean for a long time. Sometimes I tried to soak it in vinegar to see if there was any information, but yeah, the clay pipes are the coolest things. Like this one's from Dublin, Ireland. This one was in Ketch Harbor. This one was in Grand Lake. And this one, where is this one? This is from the Halifax Harbor. This is like 1940s.
Wow.
This is like an orange soda.
Yeah. You live in Pubnico. Have you been diving down there?
It's on my list.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this
What
is.
is all this, guys?
These are all old clay pipes from the 1800s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, some are hand carved. That's the net I fill up with all this stuff every time. And there's my camera. You like sea glass? Yeah. Isn't that cool? This is an old one. Yeah, it's okay.
Wow.
It's like a living museum. Pretty cool, like doll figurines. That's from. It's funny finding two old bottles triggered this buried passion of mine that I had from a long time ago. Doing this thing did change my life, and it really like saved me in a lot of ways. It went hand in hand with some other life decisions that I had made at the time as well. To stop drinking alcohol and to just kind of pursue a more quieter mindset. It slowed me down, which led me to rediscovering an old passion, which ended up being one of my favorite things to do. I would hope that these dives would inspire my kids, but I've started to try to take them with me snorkeling. Yeah, my dad is one of my heroes, and I hope that I can be that same hero to my kids.
I like diving though, like in the pool.
Do you think you'd ever try it in the ocean?
Scary creatures.
In the water.
He brings home bottles and sometimes vacuum pieces.
And what's that like for you? Is it cool?
Yeah, very cool.
It's really cool knowing that I have a dad that tries to help save the earth when a lot of people don't. And it's really just, it kind of makes me proud in a way.